Hey guys, so I am here on a windy day where we just got in getting ready to do a couple things, and I want to show you something I purchased here. So this is the Pecron solar generator. Now on our homestead here, we are going to be running solar power, but before that I could either use a generator, which I got on the back of that UTV, or I could use a solar generator. A couple reasons why I want to do this. For one is I want to first of all get familiar with solar power in something that has got a battery, an inverter, and solar panels hooked up. I want to get an idea what that's like. We got a camper over there. You may be able to see that we're going to be staying at this evening, and I want to see what it's like. I want to see how these panels work. I want to see how this works, and it's got great reviews. It's got a really good price, and that's what I really wanted to try and see how it actually worked. Most folks are saying that it works really well. This is a 2,000 watt hour unit, so it gets 2,000 watt hours, and the 4 solar panels that I purchased with it can charge this fully on a bright sunny day such as this within about 3 or 4 hours. So I kind of just want to show you what it's like out of the box. I'm going to take it out and then I'll kind of show you. I don't think you need to see an unboxing. So anyway, let's just take a look and see how it goes. Okay, so I said I wasn't going to do an unboxing, but I thought it was kind of neat the way they pack this in there. They have a little case here, and it's got the solar adapters for the solar panels, which is really neat. And I think they call them MC4s, I believe. And this is, of course, for your adapter, for your cigarette lighter adapter, and stuff like that. It's got a little case in here. This is kind of neat. And you had to buy this extra, which was kind of cool. I did buy it because it is important. This is the AC charger. This allows you to charge the solar generator with actual AC current from the house or from a generator. So I thought that was kind of neat. So I did buy that extra just in case we needed it to charge it up. The biggest thing being out here, rural, and when you're off grid like this, one of the main reasons of doing this is if you're out here for an extended period of time and you need power, that generator will be on and run and run and run and run for hours. And even though the generators we have are pretty quiet, it just seems like it's a bit unnecessary. And having something that's quiet and just peaceful when you're out here. Now the wind today's blowing, but typically it's really quiet out here, and we really like that peacefulness. And you got the generator running in the background, feeling like it kind of is reducing some of the experience. So anyway, so we got this here, and this is a little brick, essentially. It's a charger. Definitely nothing fancy, but it does charge up the unit. So it allows you to charge up the batteries on this thing. So I want to show you that, which I thought was great. A great thing to have just in case. Again, even if you had to run the generator for a couple hours to charge it up, at least you could shut it off. Particularly, as you may know, at night. At nights, you don't want noise. And this will power anything pretty much at night. So let's take a look at this real quick. It's pretty heavy, the unit. And let's put this back here a minute, real quick. Let's pop it out. Probably 60 pounds at least. Let's put that over the side. All right, and this is what's really cool about this. I thought it was so neat when I saw it. It's got wireless charging for your phone on top of the unit. How cool is that? So that I thought was really neat. Essentially, all this is, just if you don't really want to know what this is, it's really simple. It's basically a battery, large battery. This is a lithium ion phosphate battery, as opposed to just a lithium battery, which these have more charge cycles. Basically, I think they're rated for 3,500. I may be wrong. But basically, that's it. And it's also got an inverter, obviously. Basically, inverter, what we mean is we're taking DC current from those solar panels, running it in here, and then that is turning that into AC current outward. Now, obviously, this is just 120 volts, nothing fancy. And then you can also do DC output through your 12 volt or probably your leads here, which is kind of cool, particularly if you have, this works really well if you have obviously you have an RV, because RVs a lot of times have 12 volt systems on their lighting. They'll have both. They'll have shoreline, which is AC voltage, and then they have DC current, which runs typically their small lights and stuff like that. So, this is what's great about it. And then you even got some USB, USB-C, is it? Yeah, USB-C, USB-A or USB-B. I'm not sure what they call it. And that's 5 volt, 2 amp. This I saw now, the video is saying it's 100 watts. It's actually not rated. It's not coming in 100 watts. It's coming in about 60 watts. That was from another channel. They did a test on it, which I thought was great. That really is only going to matter if you're doing like a MacBook or something like that. So anyway, these are great. So anyway, we're going to try it. Let's take a look and let's see if it just powers on. I don't know if it just powers on. Yeah, there it is. All right, let's see what it comes with. All right, so we have 66% of the battery, and let's see, 1 watt is going out currently. And all right, so if we hooked up stuff into this, and I'm not really sure about everything in here yet, as again, I am a novice in this area, so I'm kind of learning as we go along. So what we're going to do is we're going to hook up the solar panels, plug them in, and it should start giving our input charge voltage on those panels, and that will give us an understanding of how much power we got. But right now we have power right away, which is neat. It's quiet, and we don't have to worry about starting a generator. So that's kind of exciting. So let me get the panels out and let's get this thing hooked up. And if the panels don't blow over, which they could, let's see how it works when we charge it. All right, so these have come out. These are neat. You could spend a little less money by going with like panels and buying them aftermarket, buying them from Signature Solar or something like that. You could do all that, but I thought these were really cool. And one about them is they have their own case. So, these are panels. So I said, look how cool that is. It's like a briefcase. I thought that was the neatest thing. So yeah, you can get them a little less. Definitely you can get them a little less for what you're doing. But I thought these were really cool. They come with, let's take a look here. There you go. So this is the back side. This is what goes into those adapters, which go into the unit. So this is attached. This is what's great about it. It's so cool. So what you do is you just undo this. It's kind of idiot proof, which is great for me, right? So there you go. This is so awesome. Look at that. And they feel extremely, extremely durable. I know we should read directions, but we don't do that here. So basically, this is how you do it. Now you can lay these flat, which is awesome as well, right? So you can lay them flat. It's not going to be as good, but you can just lay them flat. We got a lot of wind, right? So we just lay them out like that. And you got to admit, the technology is pretty awesome when it comes for this. Really awesome, the technology and stuff like that. So anyway, it says right here, cell efficiency is 21%, 36 volts coming in, 5.5 amps. This is output. Peak power is 200 watt output. And the temperature range, that's great. You can go from 10 degrees centigrade all the way to 65. That means, you know, on a really cold day, 10 degrees Celsius, that's about the limit. So, you know, we know that 0 is freezing, so it's a little above freezing. So you're not going to be out here on a freezing day with them. At least that's what it's saying on your operating temperature range. I imagine it diminishes dramatically. So anyway, let's take a look here on how this works. So let's take a look real quick. All right, so this right here is, it's interesting the way they've done this, and I'm not sure exactly why they did it, but these have a different adapter to plug into each one of these panels. So these are the same, but this third DC input is different. I'm not sure the whole reasoning for that. Maybe it's because of a different brand panel or something like that. So what we're going to do here is really simple. And you can join these in parallel in series, or you can put them in like that. Okay. So let's just say we do one panel. I'm sure the panel's got to be pretty close to it. So let's take a look here real quick. I'm going to bring this over here. I'm just going to use one panel just to give it a shot. Really simple. Sure, it's not a big deal. There we go. It's good. It comes with some extra length here, so we can go pretty far away. It doesn't have to be this close. And again, pretty idiot proof here. Typically for me, I'm going to do the positive. I don't think there's any real rhyme or reason for it. Negative. And we are charging, okay? And what it says is that we have 128, 132 watts, 136, climbing, 139, 140. So it's going to keep climbing up. This is the input wattage on charge. And it is charging at this point right now. So it does work. It's 142. Anyway, on here too, I just noticed we have something here. Okay, so here's another thing that I did forget about. It's got a battery expansion, which is unique to this brand at this size, that you can actually buy additional batteries and expand the battery capacity. You buy the same brand, they have batteries, extension batteries, and instead of it being, you know, this size battery, you can expand it and have more capacity, a more reserve capacity. So that's great. We got fuses on the sides, stuff like that. So yeah, I think this is a pretty cool. I'm really impressed with the build quality of it, but it's our first foray into solar, and when we're new and you have to learn absolutely everything, sometimes I find that if you just kind of ease into it rather than going crazy, you begin to understand some of the technology, some of the lingo. You know, being new to some of this, I don't understand all the lingo. I didn't understand it and watch so many videos. And sometimes I just need someone to just go really slow and give us the very basic. What is a watt? What is a volt? You know, even though I know, definitely know how to do electrical, some of that stuff's a little confusing, particularly when we're talking about solar. So, yeah, so just really thrilled about it. I think it's going to be great. I feel really confident, and it gives you some assurance being out here that you're not going to run out of power in the middle of the night. Tonight we're expecting to stay out here, and it's going to be 38 degrees. And those fans on the heater, even though the heater is ran by propane, the fans are ran by DC power. So it's a DC power fan. It's not AC, it's DC, which is going to do a lot when we could charge the battery that it has on the unit itself, on the actual RV with this. So there's a lot of, you know, things you don't want to run out of heat in the middle of the night, you know, at 38 degrees. So that sort of thing is good to have. Laying flat, they're running about 150 on the charge wattage. So that's great. So we could add more of these panels. I have 4 total, and let's do that and charge them up, and we'll see how it goes. I think we'll be pretty good. Okay, so I wanted to touch base with you before I ended. I actually found the way to lean these up on the right angle, the solar panels. They have these little Velcroed stands that come out of the back, and you can kind of tilt it based on the angle that you want to put it on, which I thought was really cool. And they're pretty heavy, so the wind is not affecting them at all, which is great. Where regular solar panels, I'd be really concerned about them. Also, I noticed one thing: the panels laying flat or putting them up really meant nothing when it comes to the wattage output. With this sun, and we have full sun here, we're getting about 150 watts per panel. And then when I did this in series, which is basically hooking the second set of panels up, we're at 300 watts right now. It's running 300 watts, and you do it in series, and it's kind of simple. You just positive, negative, into positive and negative, and you just join them that way. So this would be for one setup. You would do this. I don't know if you can run. You probably can only run a limit of so many panels input on one section. Let me take a look here. I don't know. I think there's probably a limit. 32 volt, 95 volt, 600 watts max. Okay, so that's probably 600 watts max for the total. So what that's telling me is that you're going to run about 300 or so watts going into each port on each side. So 600 watts. The other interesting fact about why I bought this was that it supposedly is rated for 1300 watts input on the solar panel, and that is really important when it comes to speed, rejuvenating your battery. So 300 watts here. So if we hooked another setup, we would get another 3. We get 600 watts total input on this. So anyway, I didn't want to just rush through this. This is an E2000 by Pecron, and I thought it's really good, really well made. But we'll see how it holds up. This is all new. Thanks.